Excuse me. What in the world are you thinking?
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the Sexy Ninja, in the place to be for a Paper Saber universe, and this is the New World Podcast, brother. We're talking about NXT, January 23rd, 2024. Booker T, Vic Joseph on commentary. We got the semifinals, whatever you want to say, Dusty Tag Team Classic Tournament. The Wolf Dogs? Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin versus Axiom and Nathan Frazier, and you talk about one hell of a match. I've been enjoying this Dusty Tag Team Classic. It's just been producing some really great tag team matches. And Braun and Baron's chemistry is actually pretty dope. I want to see them to go all the way, and I feel like they will, because next week is Trick and Mello versus LWO. And I got a feeling we're going to see Trick Mello versus Braun and Baron at Vengeance Day. It's crazy to think, we got the Royal Rumble this weekend, and then the next weekend we got Vengeance Day, and all this crazy news breaking. Also, I heard Okada is WWE bound, and I'm like, oh my God. You got the big news about Raw being on Netflix, SmackDown going to USA, NXT going to the CW channel. It's all these crazy things are going on right now. The Rock is now on the board of the TKO. We're not doing that again. The TKO board and everything like that. There's a lot of stuff going on. We got the WWE 2K24 game out. Great that Cody's on the cover. Also Bianca, also Rhea. And a funny thing about Rhea before I continue with this. I was at work and a coworker came up to me and she goes, "Hey, do you know Mommy?" And I was like, Are we talking about Rhea Ripley? She goes, "Oh, yeah. And she pulled up all these photos she has. She's beautiful." I was like, "That's Mommy. That's Mommy, damn it." But Braun Breaker, Baron Corbin, they move on in the Dusty Tag Team Classic. But Axiom and Nathan put up one hell of a fight with these two, especially Axiom. He got his ass handed to him a few times, but he kept kicking out. But man, you got to watch this. This is my favorite match of the night. This match right here for the Dusty Tag Team Classic, I cannot wait for next week with LWO and Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. Next up, we have Ava. She is now the youngest GM in history. She's going to be the GM of NXT. And to put smiles on our faces, William Regal comes out. He's on WWE television now. I think he's past that contract he had with AEW. It was good to see William Regal, and he's congratulating Ava and saying, hey, if you ever need anything, let me know. And I just got a big smile ear to ear. This is where he should be. I enjoyed his time in AEW, but he needs to be here. That's just how I feel. Next up, we have OTM. They went and attacked the family's place. They laid waste at the restaurant. Because they got a big tag team match. They got a big match coming up at Vengeance Day that was announced. I'm excited. I'm very excited to see the family beat the shit out of the OTM and scripts and everything like that. And Jada, Alexa Lopez, she's pissed. She's looking for Lola Vice, and she's going through the backstage and wants to get what she wants. Lash Legend versus Ren Sinclair. Lash Legend for the win. Dijak versus Joe Gacy. No match, just a fight. And I want to see these two go at it. They, Joe went through a wall. They went through tables just to beat the crap out of each other. And Joe would not go down. I was like, damn. So Dijak's got a lot on his hands with Joe Gacy. And I can't wait to see these two go at it. Hopefully at Vengeance Day in some form of stipulation added to the match. Ariana Grace is backstage. Alexa comes back. She's like, it's a little quick interaction. Trick Mello backstage. We got still doubts and worries and everything like that because earlier Ilya's backstage and he has Josh Briggs gets in his face and he's like, "Hey, I'm JBL endorsed me and I'm gonna become champion, one day, blah blah." And Trick gets in there and he's like, "Hey man, you got to go through me before you get to him because don't forget who got the title shot at Vengeance Day." And so goes to this backstage thing with Trick and Mello. Carmelo's like, "Yo, dude, why are you sticking up for Ilya? He's just tricking you, man. He's manipulating your mind and everything like that." And And Trick just won't have any of it. He says, no, man, Ilya's straight up. But Carmelo's trying to play these mind games to Trick Williams. So I want to see where it all lays out, especially as we go into their match next week. Lexis King versus Trey Bearhill. It was okay. Lexis King for the win. We have a Von Wagner and Mr. Stone training montage package because he's going to take on Noam Dar at, I believe, next week for the Heritage Cup. Elektra Lopez, the Supernova sessions with Lola Vice. She comes on, Noam Dar. He's asking questions and stuff like that. But Elektra Lopez comes out, and man, you talk about a verbal, like, scrap of a fucking promo from Elektra Lopez, man. She just goes after Lola like crazy. She's like, yo, she's like, I earned my way to be here, and you just shook your ass on Instagram, and that's how you got here. And it's just like, damn, and they just get in a fight, jump right over the couch. You know, it was. I was like, damn, I want to see these two fight. I believe they're gonna take on each other next week. So I was like, okay. You know, I was kind of mild with these two, but seeing how they got verbal with each other on the mic, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens. And Lola's talking about dropping Elektra like she's just a weight that's now off her shoulders. And Elektra Lopez is like, nah, bitch, I'm more than that. So we're gonna get into it. The family responds to OTM. You know, they said we're gonna kick your asses, and it's just gonna be a war. Dragon Lee versus Scripps with OTM. This was a fun match. I really did enjoy this match. Dragon Lee got the win over Scripps. But, you know, of course, Oba Femi's watching, and the family comes out, which I kind of was like, okay, I was just waiting for them. And they start taking out OTM and Rizzo and Jada. Like, it's chaos, and that's what distracts Scripps. And Dragon Lee gets the win for the 1-2-3. And Oba grabs the mic and tells Dragon Lee, like, yo, I thought about it, and at Vengeance Day, I will put up my North American Championship against you. And it's like, oh, the rematch. Here we go, baby. Lyra is backstage. Tatum Paxley's like there, and Lyra's just kind of telling her to back off me a little bit, you know, just back off. And this relationship has just been like, I don't know where we're going with it. So, but we'll talk about it when we get to the end of the show. Blair Davenport versus Carmen. Blair Davenport for the win. We go into Chase U. Oh my gosh, they got everything repoed, everything, and as everything's getting repoed, you know, he's like, oh my god. Chase is like, oh my god, this is all coming down apart, and Duke's like, it's all materialistic things. We can get these back, and they take his trophy. And he's like, no, and they take the podium stand. He's like, no, not my podium stand. Let it fucking go, you know. And everything was emptied. It looked like the finale of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air that everyone's been posting on Twitter and X and Instagrams and all that. But man, this segment made me sad because when I got into NXT, the Chase U was at its like high peak of like where they were at, and I was just like, I just don't get this. This is stupid. But then, as I am sitting right here now in 2024, after watching these shows and getting to know everybody in NXT, especially this new crop of talent and stuff like that, like it's kind of really sad to be like, oh, Chase U's done. Nah, and it's just funny to me how that you stick with something long enough, it kind of just grows on you, and it's a part of you. So they said next week we're gonna say goodbye, and that's the end of Chase U. But man, they took Duke's trophy. Trick Williams versus Josh Briggs. It was okay. I think we're getting a heel run from Josh because Trick gets the win. Well, Ilya's on commentary, you know, and Josh accidentally hits Ilya. Ilya's pissed. He's about to jump in the ring. Mello comes out, pulls Ilya down, but Trick got the win on the roll up with 1-2-3. Josh didn't like that. He hit Trick, and that's where I'm like, okay, are we getting a heel turn with Josh? I'm okay with that. Let's see what Mr. Briggs can do. But then you get Trick and Mello backstage fighting. They're like, hey, you know, he's like, why'd you do that? And Melo's like, it's Ilya. And Trick's like, no, man. It's like, what are you doing? And so we're adding more layers of tension. We're adding layers of doubt between the two. So what's going to happen next week? That's what I'm like. I'm tuning in next week to see what happens with Trick and Mello. Do they beat the LWO and move on? Or do they like self-destruct and that's how they lose the match And then how is Carmelo going to play into the main event of Trick Williams taking on Ilya Dragunov for the championship? So there's so many factors here that NXT is on fire right now. That I'm just saying it right here. It is on fire right now, and you cannot put it out, and we're having a good time while watching these shows. We got a big contract signing. Lyra and Roxanne Perez going to take each other on at Vengeance Day. This is the contract signing with Ava. People are on fire on the mic tonight. That's all I'm going to say. But Roxanne's like, hey, man, there's no fatal four-ways. There's no this. There's no that. It's just straight up one-on-one. And I'm going to get that championship back and show everybody this. And Lyra just comes back. She's like, you know what? I'm going to tell you this, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but I replaced you. And I was like, whoa. And she's like, yeah, I replaced you. And, I'm showing you that I'm on top of this division. And at Vengeance Day, when I beat you, I'll show you that I am this division. I was just like, damn. And even Abel's like, hey, you two, save this for Vengeance Day. I'm like, please. And give us a showstopper of a match. After the contract signing, Lyra goes out. And, of course, here comes Tatum Paxley. And she puts Roxanne Perez through the table. Lyra's like, what the hell's going on? And Tatum hugs Lyra. And Lyra pushes her off and says, leave me alone. And then Lyra tries to check on Roxanne. And Roxanne's like, get the fuck away from me and everything like that. So this is the way we end it. And I got to say, 5 out of 5 for the show. But my favorite match of the night was Braun Breaker, Baron Corbin versus Axiom, and Nathan Frazier. That was one hell of a match. Dragon Lee and Scripps was good. I got to say, next up to that was Dijak versus Joe Gacy, which wasn't even a match. It was just something that got me hyped and excited. I was like, I like this rivalry. Let's keep building on it. Let's keep making the drama, because that's what it's all about, folks, is the drama. What does Booker T said? Bread, no water, or some shit like that. But, 5 out of 5. Tell me what you thought of the show. Drop those comments below. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Tell me what you think of NXT right now. I'm highly enjoying it. Very, very enjoying it very, very much. So drop those comments below. Show your grandma, show the bum down at Walmart. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com/New World Podcast. Get yourself that sweet NWP logo and more logos to come, I promise. And more music reviews and everything, more Sexy Ninja Cast. So just get ready for the wave that is KMB, the Sexy Ninja. And remember, the New World Podcast is for life, brother.
Thankless job. Long hours. Egos to juggle, lots of split-second and sometimes very tough decisions to make.